record performances in the Boston AA meet.
A scoring binge by a Pro Basketball 5.
And John Landy, Aussie 4-minute mile threat. But first, the richest horse race.
Santa Anita Racetrack in California puts on one of his biggest shows and the richest horse race in the world. It's the Santa Anita Maturity, a mile-and-a-quarter test for 4-year-olds. By the time the entries have sifted down to 9 starters, the big pot is worth just a few dollars short of $162,000. And even for horses, that's not hay. Here they come for the race, and Calumet Farms' entry of Marquis Well and Fleetbird is a 1-5 favorite. They're in the gate, and here they go, charging out for the mile-and-a-quarter trip. As they come galloping past the stands, main line, number 6 goes rolling to the front, sweeps away, and goes into the first turn with a lead of more than 2 lengths. Pounding down the backstretch, main line still has the lead, but only a slight one. Happy Go Lucky, flown to California for the race after winning 5 straight at New Orleans, is second. But watch that horse running all over the race on the outside. That's Marquis Well under Eddie Arcaro. Steadily, the Calumet horse reduces the lead, passing one after another. And in the last turn, he goes out in front. Marquis Well has it wrapped up as they head for the wire, and Fleetbird rushes past Happy Go Lucky for the place. The time of 2 minutes, 3 2/5 is the slowest the race ever produced. But it's the second time Calumet has placed its entry 1-2.
A capacity crowd of nearly 14,000 packs the Boston Garden for the Boston Athletic Association games. Harrison Dillard, Olympic record breaker, wins the Hillman 45-yard hurdles in 5 5/10 seconds. Who do you suppose won the pole vault? Why, of course, the Reverend Bob Richards clears 15 feet, victorious as usual. One of the highlights is the Hollis 600. The peerless Mal Whitfield, Olympic 800 meters champion, faces such opponents as Herb McKinley and George Roden, among others. Whitfield's now running third. Nearing the finish, Whitfield has stepped to the front with McKinley second. And even though he eases up the last few yards, Mal wins in the world record equaling time of 1 minute, 10 2/10 seconds. The field in the Hunter Mile includes Fred Wilt, the FBI man who won the Boston KFC Mile recently, his former nemesis Don Gehrman, and Fred Dwyer of Villanova College, who a few days ago defeated both. After Gehrman has set the early pace, Joe LaPierre of Georgetown takes over. But with a lap and a half to go, Dwyer speeds to the front. On the final lap, Dwyer puts on additional speed. Wilt races gamely after him, but the Villanova miler gives Fred no chance to catch up. Dwyer wins from Wilt by about 4 yards in 4 minutes, 9 2/10, with Gehrman a badly beaten third. The final big feature of the meet is the Billings 2-mile run, another scratch event. This was to bring about the return match between Horace Ashenfelter, Olympic steeplechase champion, and Charlie Capozzoli of Georgetown, who sprang a surprise on him 2 weeks ago. But Capozzoli is out of action with influenza, and Ashenfelter, winner of the Sullivan Award not long ago, soon moves into the lead. Ashenfelter is so far out in front by the last lap, it is no longer a contest. Horace is running all alone, and the spotlight picks him up long before he hits the tape. In fact, he's lapping some of the runners as he scores in 8 minutes, 53 seconds, a new record for the Billings 2-mile.
In In Boston, the Celtics, slipping lately in the National Basketball Association race, try to regain some lost ground as they take on the Rochester Royals. It isn't long before the Celtics begin to think more about holding their own than trying to advance. The Royals, playing in top form, race out to a substantial lead in the first half and continue to pour it on after the intermission. Here they are riddling the Celtics defense. Here goes for a long sequence of frustration. First, the Celtics miss. The Royals get the rebound and sweep down the floor with no more success. Now it's Boston's turn again, and it's still close, but no cigar, so the Royals try again. And finally, the Rochester Five hits the cords for another two-pointer. At last, the Celtics intercept the ball, miss on the first try, but cash in on the follow-up. But the Royals continue to rain in baskets as they keep the score mounting. In the final minutes, the visitors put on a mild freeze and the Celtics press them madly, but the Royals win in a walkaway, 109-86.
John Landy, 22-year-old Australian agriculture student, who is the world's fastest miler and the man the experts consider most likely to break through the athletic sound barrier, the 4-minute mile. These slow-motion studies of Landy's style show how he hopes to do the trick. He's already come within 2 1/10 seconds of it. He learned to use his arms to help drive himself forward after each stride by watching the Olympic Triple Crown winner, Emil Zatopek. Landy does some of his training by chasing butterflies. Collecting them is his hobby. John looks flat-footed as he lopes along, but it must be an easy style. He runs 6 or 7 miles every night. Landy pointed his training for the mile in the Australian Championships at Perth and confidently predicted he would break 4 minutes in that race. The eyes of all sports fans were on him, and the stands were packed for the event. Here's the start of the big test. After 3 quarters, Landy is far ahead, and the crowd is filled with excitement. There's no doubt of the winner as Landy comes in more than 100 yards ahead, but the time is a disappointment. 4 minutes, 4 2/10. It's well behind Gunder Haag's record of 4-1 4/10, but Landy says he'll do it yet.
This is one of the most fabulous stories sports has ever produced, and there have been many bordering on fantasy. It's the story of a basketball player with a little college of only 92 students who is setting the court world on its ears. Here he is, Clarence Bevo Francis, complete with coonskin cap. Bevo, named for a near beer his father used to drink, is a freshman at Rio Grande College in Ohio, and he has already broken nearly every record in the book. With shooting like this, Bevo has already rolled up 1,341 points this year, nearly 300 over the old mark, and he's still going strong. Although nearly half of the 92 students are girls, the basketball team has 27 straight victories and is shooting for an unbeaten season. Bevo, who is 20 years old, has a wife and baby. When he entered Rio Grande, he still needed additional credits for his high school diploma, which he just acquired a few days ago. It was presented to him at a testimonial dinner in his hometown, Wellsville, Ohio. Rio Grande gave up football years ago, and now it pins its hopes on Bevo. The college hopes his fame will build up enrollment to around 250 students. Bevo himself was almost given up as a victim of anemia in his childhood when his family was on relief. But he learned to play basketball in a barn, became a Wellsville high school star, and got 63 college offers. He never goes hungry now. Bevo Bevo Francis studies agriculture between games in which he averages 50 points with a record high of 116 points against Ashland Junior College. Newt Oliver, the coach, a record scorer at the same college himself when he was a student, persuaded Bevo to go to Rio Grande. How big is Bevo? Well, take a look at his hands in comparison with those of average size and you'll get some idea. His height is given out at 6 feet 9 inches. Some reporters have disputed that he is that tall, but he is head and shoulders over his friends and teammates around the campus. And you can judge for yourself if his height is exaggerated. And now here's Bevo Francis in actual competition. Bevo's best shot is a jump shot in which he spins in the air as he makes a one-hand push. But he can hook and score from underneath, too. With a shooting average of nearly 50%, and with 3 more seasons to go, well, no one can guess what incredible records he may set.